All right, let's kick it off. This is Mark Young. I'm joined with my esteemed colleague, Randy Cohen from Harvard Business School. We're delighted everyone's joining us for this important podcast where today we're really talking about the Fed, interest rates, inflation, what the Fed did yesterday, and ultimately, most importantly, what the heck do you do about the current economic environment? So maybe we'll start with the hypothetical question. Seeing all this information, knowing the Fed moved 75 basis points yesterday, what is the Fed thinking? What are they doing? And are they behind the proverbial yield curve right now?
Right. Well, so look, I think we now can see what Powell's strategy is, which is to say, he's absolutely bound and determined to make sure that we don't turn inflation into a permanent feature of the landscape. And as we know, there are a number of things driving that can drive inflation. But one of the most important is expectations. If you get embedded expectations where everybody thinks we're going to have 7% inflation next year, then workers are going to ask for 7% raises in their next contract. People who are selling products to people, for delivery 6 months from now are going to ask for a higher price 6 months from now. And then what the expectations become reality. So if you are Jerome Powell, if you are the Fed, and you feel that taming inflation is super important, as they do, and as I think most people do, then you absolutely need to convince the world that you are going to tame inflation no matter what it takes. That if that means putting us into recession, you'll do it, right? It doesn't mean you want to put us into recession. Of course they don't want to put us into recession. But from a risk perspective, the question is it worth taking a chance of putting us in recession? And the answer is they feel it is, because they have to let people know. And here's what's fascinating. The more convincing they are, the more people believe that they are going to do what it takes, the less they need to actually do, the less important it is that there actually be a recession. See, if people were sure that there was going to be lots of inflation, then there would be inflation sort of by definition. And the only way to get rid of it would be to create a